As someone who used to be a very type A with highly neurotic undertones, Hypnosis script gave me a run for my health. I was super anxious, very stressed out, and I consistently doubted myself and my process, which resulted in me very much blocking myself from putting myself out there, helping more people. And whenever I did one of the step-by-step process that I learned in my traditional trainings, which was the typical induction, inner child, regression, floating above timeline, healing vortex, etc. Like that's what I was trained in. When I did that and I did the induction by the book because, type A, right? I was very, very much by the book. I did exactly what was told of me to follow. But when my client went, it's blank, I have no scenes, or they say, I don't really feel hypnotized yet, or they're like, they would just come out of it feeling meh. That crushed me to the core. It made me doubt myself. It made me think, oh my God, am I really cut out for this? Did I make the right decision with doing this? Am I fucking insane for quitting my job? Like those thoughts came up in my mind, and that was very, very encouraging. And I felt absolutely horrible and I saw my future. I was like, I can't deal with preparing for my sessions anymore. I can't deal with having to give another audio and re-record it and resend it because it didn't work. And then my client actually ended up not listening for it after a week. And I was like, well, what's the fucking point? And just the process of helping people felt so hard. It felt super complicated. And as someone with a nursing background, this really didn't make sense to me. I couldn't express it at that time, but something didn't make sense. And now, looking back, I knew exactly what was wrong. And, it just took that one moment in time to tell myself, okay, I fucking hate these scripts. When I read them, I want to vomit because like it is so corny. It is so like not me. Like I didn't even believe that it would work, right? And I felt so conflicted, like an imposter, because I knew that this didn't even work for me, right? Like when I received practice sessions from others, it didn't work for me. So, like, using it for paid clients felt very disingenuous, right? And so when I sat myself down and was honest with myself and was like, I really, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this process is for me. I don't think this methodology is for me. I don't think that what I'm doing now is going to get me where I want to be with the impact that I want to make, with how I want to help people. Like there must be a way where I can just easily help others, right? And lo and behold, I started diving into more principle-based learning and actual therapeutic process. And when this happened, like that's when everything made sense. That was exactly why I felt doubtful. Because all of these techniques did one thing, which was to allow the practitioner to help the client instead of allowing the client to do the healing on their own. And when that like clicked for me, that was extremely like game changing. I was like, oh, I've been doing it wrong the whole time because I didn't know any better, of course. Like I just signed up for this methodology because ads were everywhere and this method was very popular. I just didn't know any better. I didn't know that there was a cheaper way and more effective way to actually help people. And so when I dove into principles, that's when like my nursing brain turned on and was like, holy shit, yeah, of course the old way wasn't working because why would you give suggestions to a survival brain that is in fight or flight? Like that that never made sense. And why would I completely relax someone in chronic back pain for like 45 minutes, knowing that back pain means that that person not just has the symptom of back pain, but theoretically, someone with back pain actually needs to move more in order for them to have some relief in the pain and have that mind body connection. And so like it just made so much sense at that point that what I was doing was so like copy paste from really outdated shit that just didn't make sense in my nurse brain. And so when I switched into principles and I actually like got better at assessing clients, which I was already very strong at from being a nurse. When I just focused on investigation, when I put my ego aside, and when I healed my old codependency issues of like, I gotta save all my clients, and no. Once I fixed that and then really just trusted that my client's nervous system and unconscious mind knows exactly what to do, what to say, and how to heal the client, that's when all the stress in my sessions went away. Every client session has not been stressful at all. And every client session makes me feel that I have helped them, makes me feel that we've progressed. And we end the session, both me and my client knowing that they're not going to be the same, that something has shifted for them. And I can see this very, very clearly. And this is, this is what I teach now. And it's super cool to hear my clients go, holy fuck, I can really see the client change. Like you can see it. It's very, very much real because we're taking away all of that bullshit and all of the unnecessary complications that the old methods teach. And instead, we really focus on the client in front of us, which is the most important thing, right? And so when I did this, when I changed this was when I felt more confident with my results. It was like a no-brainer to charge high ticket for it and get paid and feel really good about doing so. I was not ashamed of putting myself out there. And I did put myself out there, even though I was going through the most heartbreaking things in my life. Like I literally, my life crumbled, but I still chose to show up. Why? Because I knew that I had a service that a lot of people needed. And so it's so freeing to be away from the hypnosis prison land and the NLP prison land that I was stuck in. I literally had tried everything, and until I used the what is now the neurosync method, my students, my future clients, I know that they're going to be in a really good spot because the principles that I teach are very much based on being client centered and allowing the client to find their own answers. And, this was just really freeing to me. It felt, I feel like I can and have impacted hundreds of clients because I'm willing to show up because I have a process that I know is confident will give my client results. And so this is exactly what I teach as well. If you are someone who knows deep down inside that the process that you're doing, all the tools in your toolbox are just not getting deep enough, if you know deep down that, the individual has the ability to heal themselves and you don't know how to do that because you've been taught that it's up to you to change the client, not anyone else, then you definitely need to be in my community because this is the type of impact that you get to make. And you will say goodbye to the scripts, the bullshit, the memorization, and all you're doing is going into your client session, having that really strong conversation, and you having holy shit results from your clients that they cannot stop raving about. So if you are ready and committed to be that practitioner who has extraordinary results, then comment NeuroSync below or DM me NeuroSync and let's get started.